Dame, it seems like you're relishing defending Russ maybe more than we've seen you appreciate defensive matchups in the past. Do you think that's true, and how much are you sort of enjoying that matchup?
I mean, I really don't have a choice but to embrace it. You know, that team is going to go as far as him and Paul George. And we could try to score points and do all that stuff, but if we don't defend them and, you know, they come out there believing and they coming after us, you don't have much of a chance. So, you know, our minds are made up that we're going to take that challenge. And our season is on the line, so that's probably why it looks, you know, different than it might look any other time.
Second row middle.
Ryan Clark, Portland Tribune. Dame, there was a moment in the third quarter when Russ missed an open three, and then you came down the court and hit a really deep one, and you guys went up 6. What was going through your mind in that moment?
I was just excited. You know, I think at that point, we came into the third quarter, it was a tied game, and in the locker room, we just kept saying, we got to turn it up. You know, we got to keep turning it up and keep, you know, playing better on the defensive end. And when we came out in the third and we started actually doing it, you know, and we were getting out in transition, even when we missed shots, we were getting stops and pushing it at them, and I just felt like it was turning in our favor. So I like that the most. You know, it wasn't about us, you know, a deep three or anything like that. It was the fact that everything that they got on offense, they either worked for it or we was getting stops, and we know that that's going to give us our best chance.
Third row left.
AJ McCord, CBS Portland. Dame, you said on Sunday that you guys play a sustainable brand of basketball. You didn't have that super hot shooting first quarter like you had on Sunday, but you did outscore the Thunder the last 3 quarters of this game. So what are you guys doing? How are you playing that it is so sustainable for 4 quarters to just keep shutting them down?
I think offensively we're just executing well. You know, even like I said, when we aren't making the shots, we're getting quality shots. We making the right plays, putting the ball where it needs to go based off of how they're defending us. You know, 2 guys come to the ball, we hitting the open man. If somebody pulls over, we hitting the weak side, and make or miss, those are the shots that you want to get. And you got to keep trusting those right plays to make sure guys know that we have confidence in them. And over the course of a game, shots are going to fall. And I think that's what we're seeing on the offensive end. Everybody's a part of it. We're making the right pass, swing, passing ahead. Everything that we're doing offensively is keeping everybody involved, and it's also making them pay for, you know, giving so much attention to the ball. And then defensively, it's just being on top of it. You know, our focus has been there, recognizing play calls. When they call a play, we echoing it to each other. We know what direction to send guys. We know tendencies. You know, we've been on top of everything that we need to be on top of as far as our preparation. And I think as long as we do that, we'll give ourselves a good chance.
Right side up front.
Casey Holdahl, Trailblazers.com. Damian, I think you maybe talked about in the last press conference about defense and how, you know, maybe you feel like you don't get the credit you deserve defensively.
Yeah.
How did you feel like you handled that tonight, particularly against Russell Westbrook? Obviously, defense is a team thing, but it seems like you took somewhat of a challenge on them.
No, it's definitely, you know, in the NBA, it's about team defense. You know, guys are so good at scoring the ball and making plays. You know, even when you play good defense, sometimes guys are still going to score. And it just makes it a team thing. But early in my career, I was criticized a lot, you know, about my defense. And a lot of times young players in the NBA struggle because you don't know the NBA lingo. You don't know the terms. You don't know kind of what to expect. And as my career is going on, I recognize teams' plays. I know I'm more familiar with players' tendencies. I'm just more up to speed. If I hear away, I know it's a wide pin down. If it's thumb up, or, you know, I just know the terms, so I'm ahead. I know what's coming, and that's half the battle, is just knowing what's coming and, you know, having your mind engaged. And then the other part of it is just effort and caring about it. And I've always had the effort. I've always cared about it, and now I'm a few years deeper into the league, and I recognize stuff faster. I know what's coming. I know what guys like to do. I'm not watching film to see highlights of myself. I'm watching film. Now, how can I take advantage of the other team? How can I give myself a chance to play better against the other team? And a lot of that is defensively, going over stuff with Coach Vanderpool, and then going out there and taking a challenge, you know, not backing down. And I think the last few seasons I've been much better defensively. It hasn't been just one game or, you know, nothing like that. I've been taking the challenge, and I've been, you know, much smarter about it.
Left side along the wall.
Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest. Dame, you guys don't normally, you're not a team that forces a lot of turnovers. You turn them over 16 times for 23 points tonight. How does that happen?
like I said, it's the preparation. You know, we talk about when if a guy comes off a screen and we trap him, the weak side needs to be pulled over. And when they throw it to the weak side, we need to be stunting for each other and playing physical and all those small things. You know, when you in the right place and you're doing the right things that you prepare for, a lot of times the ball ends up in your hands. You know, there's been times where we're keeping the ball on the side and the guy is riding them on the baseline, and then the help comes over and they might jump in the air and then they looking for outlets, and then we pull it over on the weak side and the ball is there. You know, you got your hands active like we've been talking about. They make a pass, and just because your hand is where it needs to be, you deflect it. You know, just stuff like that. We've been, like I said, just really sharp in our preparation and going out there and executing it. So it's not like we said, all right, we're going to come out here and try to get steals now. I just think we've been sharp. And, you know, a lot of things have come for us in a positive way because of that.
Left side in the back, please. No center.
Orlando Sanchez, KGW. Dame, just wondering what it's like how does it feel to be able to defend home court, go up 2-0, because this was a completely different feeling that you guys had last year at this time?
I mean, I know it seemed like a long time ago, but I've had experience being up 2-0 before. Like, I think my second year in the league, we won the first 2 games on the road, and we came home like, okay, we can get this third game, and we was feeling good about ourselves. So, obviously, I know that feeling, but after our past 2 experiences, I'm like, I'm happy about it, but I really don't care. You know, I know how quickly things can change. I know that a series doesn't start until you win a game on the road, and I also know how capable their team is. So we just got to maintain our focus, stay sharp in the things that we've been sharp in, and understand that, you know, how well we played in the first game and the second game is not going to be good enough in the third game, especially on their home floor. So, you know, we just got to keep our heads down and keep working.
Last 2 questions.
Dame, Eric Anderson, USA Today. You've seen CJ get going early, and you've seen him get going for a lot of years now. When do you know that he's got it going? And it seemed like you were getting him the ball a lot early in that first quarter.
I mean, I recognize it right away. You know, when I see him call for the ball, like a lot of times he'll kind of like be on the weak side, you know, but when he's like putting his hand up, waving for the ball, see one go in, then he hit a tough one, and then when I start seeing him go side to side and moving guys around, that's when I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I stay aggressive, but I need to pitch the ball to him and let him go as often as possible. Not only because I know what he's capable of, you know, going off offensively, but I also know that it's going to take pressure off of me, and it's going to make the game come a little bit easier for me. So I recognized it right away. You know, as soon as I saw how the ball was in his hands, moving side to side, and I was like, you know, he locked in and ready.
Last question.
Joe Fisher, 1080 The Fan. Less than a month ago, Yusuf went down with the injury. You guys were basically left for dead. No one thought you guys would win a first-round series, if a game at all. Now you guys are up 2-0 with the momentum. What do you have to say to all the people that basically didn't believe in you at that time, said you guys would be an easy first-round exit?
Nothing.